There's a very specific moment in Muay Thai where a lot of people quietly disappear. It's not month one. It's not after their first hard sparring session. It's around the 2-year mark, actually. And the crazy part is they're usually better than they've ever been when they quit. Today, I want to talk about the 2-year Muay Thai drop-off that nobody talks about, why it happens, and what it actually means.
Episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai Podcast is brought to you by pmtlifestyle.com. Authentic Muay Thai lifestyle by Pu'u. Definitely go check out the website at pmtlifestyle.com for some awesome lifestyle merchandise. That's for those of you out there either involved in Muay Thai, looking at getting involved in Muay Thai, and embrace a healthier lifestyle to live the life of the Nak Muay. Go check it out.
I want to talk about Black Room at Deep Studios. If you enjoy the content of this podcast, you will definitely enjoy the value that you get out of the Black Room and being a member of the Black Room. What it is it's a subscriber-based way to support the podcast. If you enjoy the podcast and want it to continue, I'm asking for your help. And in exchange, you're going to get an underground view of Muay Thai, American Muay Thai, as well as within Thailand. We have people who are now working on the ground in Thailand that are helping us get media, content, all that stuff. We're posting it there on Black Room, as well as behind the scenes footage of the podcast recordings when we're recording. After I stop recording for stuff that we broadcast, we put some subscriber-based only content on there. So you're going to really get a lot of value out of that subscription. Okay, it's not just supporting the podcast. We also have podcast subscriber-only merchandise that's coming out as well here in 2024. So you have to be a part of the Black Room in order to get access to that. So I'm asking you for your help on that, but I know that it's not so much of you helping me. It's going to be us giving you a ton of value that you're going to get and just enjoy it. And it's only $5 a month. All right, you can cancel it anytime. Every little bit counts. Please go join it. The link is down in the show notes. All right. Anyways, sit back and enjoy the show. So what do you caught? My name is Jonathan Pu'u, founder of Pu'u Muay Thai and host of the Pu'u Muay Thai Podcast. I've trained, fought, coached, officiated, and worked with thousands of students over the years. And if there's one pattern I've seen consistently, it's this. Year 1 is survival. Year 2 is identity crisis. And most people don't realize that what they're feeling at 2 years isn't failure. It's actually transition. Around 2 years in, something subtle happens. You know the basics. You understand combinations, you can spar, you can correct newer students. You feel competent. And that competence can trick you. You start thinking, hey, I get it. I've seen all this before. It's just reps now. What's actually happening? You've gone from unconscious incompetence to conscious competence. Say that 10 times fast, right? You know enough to function, but not enough to see how deep it really goes. And that's a dangerous psychological spot. We've talked about this here before. Because it feels like mastery, but it's just familiarity. Here's the bigger one. Most people started Muay Thai with a clear reason. Get in shape, learn self-defense, get through a breakup, prove something to themselves, other people, train for a fight, find their self-confidence, build discipline, self-discipline. And by year 2, one of 3 things happens. So one of 3 things. You either achieve the goal and the emotional reason faded, your life stabilized, and suddenly you don't know why you're still training. You forgot your why, or your why has changed. That lack of clarity feels like boredom, and it's actually missing the next target. You don't need motivation and you don't need new direction. And I've been here. Right around my 2-year mark, I almost quit Muay Thai. I'd already been to Thailand once. I'd fought in Thailand. And when I came back, something didn't feel right. I realized I didn't have access to the same level of technical detail I experienced there in Thailand. The gym I was at wasn't deeply tied into the Muay Thai community at the time, too. There weren't many opportunities to compete just in general at the time. And the pathway for pursuing Muay Thai really felt unclear. I fought one more time, but quite frankly, I was burned out in training and not being able to put it on the line in a match. I wanted to fight. I wanted to compete. And even my coach at the time felt discouraged about my direction and lack of opportunities. So I made a decision in my head. If I can't get back to Thailand or move to LA to be closer to a Muay Thai gym, I'm going to quit. I didn't know what my next step was. I just knew I felt stuck. And that's the dangerous part. From the outside, I had, fought in Thailand, I had experience, skill, but internally, I felt like I'd hit the ceiling of my situation. I didn't feel like I would be able to push through that. But my training partners had a different idea. They heard about a Thai trainer opening a gym in North Hollywood. They invited me, of course. I had every excuse to not go. No car. They said, carpool with us. Hey, well, I have no money. They offered to help pay for it. Hey, I'm getting off work too late. They said, we'll let the gym know. They didn't let me quit. And that's why I met my mentor, Ajahn Nakwid, and something clicked again. We started carpooling from Ventura to North Hollywood 3 to 4 days a week. Sometimes that commute was 3 to 5 hours in traffic. Like, if you know that commute, it's not easy. You're going through 405 interchange, there's a 170, 101. It's a whole mess. Eventually, I moved down there. And that opened a whole new chapter of struggle for me, including selling my blood just to make ends meet. And, kind of getting back onto it. Here's the point. I didn't need to quit. I needed a new target. I needed the right environment. And I needed the people around me to not let me fold. Imagine if, just a second. I want you to imagine this. If I did quit, you wouldn't have our academy. Or this podcast that you're listening to right now or watching wouldn't exist. And this is where most people don't realize what's happening. At 2 years, progress becomes less dramatic. You're no longer, learning how to throw a jab. You're learning how to check a kick. Surviving your first sparring rounds. Like, you remember that, right? First time sparring, that's scary, right? And then you start feeling comfortable. Now you're refining timing, balance, distance, composure, learning new techniques. And that progress is a bit quieter. But quieter doesn't mean smaller. It just means that you're working on layers instead of foundations. When you're first getting your foundations, of course, when you can start running, you're going to start feeling pretty darn good, right? This is actually where the real learning begins as you're more comfortable with your fundamentals. And if you don't understand that, it feels like, I'm not improving anymore. How come Jonathan's getting better? I'm not, right? Comparing yourself. And that's when people drift. It's no longer, basic math. You stepped into, geometry and calculus. Calculus is loading up next for you. Maybe algebra 2. That's what you're stepping into. And here's the truth. At 2 years, Muay Thai stops being about proving something and it starts becoming about who you are. And this is where the art asks, are you here for outcomes or are you here for practice? Are you here for validation or for development? This is also when Muay Thai stops being only about you. All right, you can start helping out newer students. You're holding standards as a more advanced student, all right, 2 years in, being an example for others, protecting the culture. If that shift never happens, people leave because they've outgrown their original reason, their original why of why they started, and they haven't grown into a new one, or at least they think they've outgrown their original reason, but have truly just begun the clear path forwards. If you're a coach, this is the most important retention window in your program, in your gym. Your 2-year students, they need direction, they need progression, they need purpose, they need responsibility. And if you don't give them one, they'll assume they've hit a ceiling and they'll look elsewhere for growth. And this is where leadership is developed. Assistant coaches are born, core culture is formed, right? You have your core group, but only if you guide them through it. The 2-year drop-off isn't about skill, it's about identity. It's about purpose. It's about not knowing what the next mountain is. If you're at that point right now and you're listening to this, you're not stuck. You're transitioning. And if you stay through that transition, Muay Thai becomes something deeper than a hobby. It becomes part of who you are. If you've been training around 2 years, I want to know, did you ever hit that, what's next phase? And if you're a coach, how do you guide students through it? Let me know down in the comments below. or text the podcast line at 805-456-3316. As of recording this episode, I've not had one person text that line. Lies. Okay. I had one person. It was a teenager in Colorado. Shout out to you, dude. Because the people who make it past year 2 almost always stay long enough for Muay Thai to really change them. I want to give a shout out to Sor Mantarak. Sor Mantarak was established in connection with Kun Mantarak in Sor Thanakul, preserving the live relationship between Muay Thai lineage and traditional Sakyant practice. The foundation is built on discipline, respect, and continuity of heritage. Located at Ratchadamnern Stadium in Bangkok, Thailand, one of the historic homes of Muay Thai, we talked about this here before many times, Sor Mantarak reflects the same values carried through the sport's lineage, such as structure, commitment, and intention. Each yantra is selected through consultation with Ajahn, aligning with the individual's path and discipline rather than trend or appearance. So go check them out. You can follow them at Muay Thai_Sakyant on Instagram or contact them on WhatsApp at +66 81 107 2743. Shout out to you guys for jumping in, man. With that said, I will see you in the next episode. Sawadee Kop. All right, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in today to the Pu'u Muay Thai Podcast. If you enjoy the content, go leave a review over on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Give us a rating. It means the world to us. Also, if you want to be a guest on the Pu'u Muay Thai Podcast, or if you just want to shout out to your friend, go check us out at podcast.pu'umuaythai.com. You can submit to be able to be a guest on the podcast. You can submit what you want to talk about. Also, if you want to just give a shout out, there's a button for that too. Sawadee Kop.